Good day, everybody. Morning number 1818 in San Francisco. San Francisco, open your golden gates. Blah, da, 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 da. I sound like an old cranky cat, I guess. I'm wearing Golden Gate colors. 49ers. Yeah. Morsels of a thought number 1818. And I feel better than I did yesterday. Let me tell you, yesterday I looked at my stove and I said, "What? No coffee?" And I said, "No wonder my show was WSE. Worst show ever." Ay, ay, ay. I was reading to you yesterday from Ellen Fine and Sherry Schneider, and I was not very awake. Not very much wide awake. Anyway, right now we are on Words and Wisdom Wednesday. I want everybody to take the magic action of doing something virtuous. And how do we do that? It's whatever we know that's wisdom, that's wise. Do something wise, and you're committing an act of virtue. Guess what? Whatever is wise is an act of virtue. So, like, let's say your friend wants to get in a car with a stranger and you don't want them to. Well, what's wise is for me to back off and for my friend to find a way. Anyway, when you want to think of what's wise, you think of, well, what'll be the end result of this? What'll be the end result of this? Well, if nothing consequential will happen, but I can still wait for the good results to happen, then I don't want to rush it, right? Let's see. Thoughts of wisdom. Thoughts of wisdom. Well, hmm, they say better safe than sorry. They say slow and steady wins the race. So that's a good one. I like that. Thank you, Derek Kawai, and good luck on your birthday next Monday. I may not remember it. But anyway, I am oh, and hello, Elena Dunn. How are you? And hello, John Clark. And Colleen Dracos, and Gina Potov, and Liz Rose Cantara, Annette, and who else? Mandy Alexi, Marty Blue. I have other names as well, and I have to remember them next time. Morsels of a thought. Anyway, not knowing is true knowledge. This is the Tao. The Tao Te Ching was written by Lao Tzu many years ago. I have to say it was many years ago. I'm trying to remember if it's 2000 or 3000 years ago. Let's see, what year? Yes, 551 to 479 before Common Era. So that's 2,500 years ago. 25 centuries ago. This man wrote, Lao Tzu wrote, the Tao Te Ching. We call it the Tao. Nowadays, it's called the Tao Te Ching, and it used to be called the Tao. You can call it the Tao if you want, but in Chinese, it's the Tao Te Ching. Okay, not knowing is true knowledge. This is number 71. Presuming to know is a disease. How could I presume to know the right thing to do? I don't necessarily know the right thing to do. First, realize that you are sick, because we're presumed to know. Then you can move toward health. The master is her own physician. She has healed herself of all knowing. Thus, she is truly whole. WHOLE. Not knowing is true knowledge. Presuming to know is a disease. First, realize that you are sick. Then you can move toward health. The master is her own physician. She has healed herself of all knowing. Thus, she is truly whole. Number 72. When they lose their sense of awe, people turn to religion. When they no longer trust themselves, they begin to depend on authority. Therefore, the master, capital M, steps back so that people won't be confused. He teaches without a teaching so that people will have nothing to learn. What it means is they can learn so much that there is nothing left to learn. Number 73. The Tao is always at ease. It overcomes without competing, answers without speaking a word, arrives without being summoned, accomplishes without a plan. Its net covers the whole universe, and though its meshes are wide, it doesn't let a thing slip through. Number 74. If you realize that all things change, there is nothing you will try to hold on to. If you aren't afraid of dying, there is nothing you can't achieve. Trying to control the future is like trying to take the master carpenter's place. When you handle the master carpenter's tools, chances are that you'll cut your hand. I'm going to go backwards to 69. We are reading from the Dao De Jing. The generals have a saying. This is number 69. Rather than make the first move, it is better to wait and see. Rather than advance an inch, it is better to retreat a yard. This is called going forward without advancing, pushing back without using weapons. There is no greater misfortune than underestimating your enemy. I almost wrote the other word. Underestimating your enemy means thinking that he is evil. Thus, you destroy your three treasures and become an enemy yourself. When two great forces oppose each other, the victory will go to the one that knows how to yield. You know how in Aikido or in any martial art, you let the person do the swing and then you turn the direction and they are able to fall over on their own force. The amount of force that they gave you, you were able to switch it back to them and they were able to fall as hard as they were planning to push you. So the victory will go to the one that knows how to yield. My teachings are easy to understand. This is number 70, and easy to put into practice. Yet your intellect will never grasp them, and if you try to practice them, you'll fail. My teachings are older than the world. How can you grasp their meaning? If you want to know me, look inside your heart. See, knowing your enemy means knowing your own heart. Because you think to yourself, what would I do if I were in their shoes? And then you know. Ooh, this is a pretty page. Number 68. The best athlete wants his opponent at his best. The best general enters the mind of his enemy. Chu Liuxiang was like that. He was able to predict what the enemy would do. Anyway, the best businessman serves the communal good. The best leader follows the will of the people. All of them embody the virtue of non-competition. Not that they don't love to compete, but they do it in the spirit of play. In this, they are like children and in harmony with the Tao. Some say, this is number 67, some say that my teaching is nonsense. Others call it lofty but impractical. But to those who have looked inside themselves, this nonsense makes perfect sense. And to those who put it into practice, this loftiness has roots that go deep. I have just three things to teach: simplicity, patience, compassion. These three are your greatest treasures: simplicity, patience, compassion. Simple in actions and in thoughts, you return to the source of being. Patient with both friends and enemies, you accord with the way things are. Compassionate toward yourself, you reconcile all beings in the world. This is a fan. Everybody dies of laughter when I say that. Like, yes, 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 we know that's a fan. Ah, okay, there we are. Number 65. The ancient masters didn't try to educate people, but kindly taught them to not know. Not know is hyphenated. When they think that they know the answers, people are difficult to guide. When they know that they don't know, people can find their own way. If you want to learn how to govern, avoid being clever or rich. The simplest pattern is the clearest. Content with an ordinary life, you can show all people the way back to their own true nature. Sorry about the noises in the background. Number 66. All streams flow to the sea because it is lower than they are. Humility gives it its power. If you want to govern the people, you must place yourself below them. If you want to lead the people, you must learn how to follow them. The master is above the people, and no one feels oppressed. She goes ahead of the people, and no one feels manipulated. The whole world is grateful to her because she competes with no one. No one can compete with her. Okay. Now, I want to read one that we have read before. And I'm trying to find it because I thought of it just now. Well, I don't see what I haven't marked. There, oh, that's not it. Uh, okay, well, I haven't marked these, so I don't know if I've read them before. I'm pretty sure I haven't, but I will read all the way to wherever we are starting to read before. I'm going backwards from a certain page. Number 59. For governing a country well, there is nothing better than moderation. The mark of a moderate man is freedom from his own ideas, tolerant like the sky, all pervading like sunlight, firm like a mountain, supple like a tree in the wind. He has no destination to view. He has no destination in view and makes use of anything life happens to bring his way. Nothing is impossible for him because he has let go. He can care for the other because he has let go. He can care for the people's welfare as a mother cares for her child. Number 60. Governing a large country is like frying a small fish. You spoil it with too much poking. Center your country in the Tao, and evil will have no power. Not that it isn't there, but you'll be able to step out of its way. Give evil nothing to oppose, and it will disappear by itself. Isn't that interesting? These are giving us a lot of messages about what to do and what not to do. Number 58. These are starting to look familiar too. If a country is governed with tolerance, the people are comfortable and honest. If a country is governed with repression, the people are depressed and crafty. When the will to power is in charge, the higher the ideals, the lower the results. Try to make people happy, and you lay the groundwork for misery. Try to make people moral, and you lay the groundwork for vice. Thus, the master is content to serve as an example and not to impose her will. She is pointed but doesn't pierce, straightforward but supple, radiant but easy on the eyes. We are reading from the Tao Te Ching today by Lao Tzu, who wrote it 2,500 years ago. 2600 years ago. 2,600 years ago. 26 centuries have gone by since these were written, and they have lasted. They have lasted. If you want to be a great leader, number 57, you must learn to follow the Tao. Stop trying to control. Let go of fixed plans and concepts, and the world will govern itself. The more prohibitions you have, the less virtuous people will be. The more weapons you have, the less secure people will be. The more subsidies you have, the less self-reliant people will be. Therefore, the master says, I let go of the law, and people become honest. I let go of economics, and people become prosperous. I let go of religion, and people become serene. I let go of all desire for the common good, and the good becomes common as grass. I'm thinking I want to look in the Bible now because there are lots of things that are in common with the Bible. And I am on page, goodness gracious, here. Okay, number 75. When taxes are too high, this is the Tao Te Ching. I'm sorry, I haven't pulled out the Bible. When taxes are too high, number 75, people go hungry. When the government is too intrusive, people lose their spirit. Act for the people's benefit. Trust them. Leave them alone. Number 78. Nothing in the world is as soft and yielding as water. Yet for dissolving the hard and inflexible, nothing can surpass it. The soft overcomes the hard. The gentle overcomes the rigid. Everyone knows this is true, but few can put it into practice. Therefore, the master remains serene in the midst of sorrow. Evil cannot enter his heart. Because he has given up helping, he is people's because he has given up helping, he is people's greatest help. True words seem paradoxical. Number 79. Failure is an opportunity. If you blame someone else, there is no end to the blame. Therefore, the master fulfills her own obligations and corrects her own mistakes. She does what she needs to do and demands nothing of others. This is getting me emotional. If a country is governed wisely, this is number 80, its inhabitants will be content. They enjoy the labor of their hands and don't waste time inventing labor saving machines. Since they dearly love their homes, they aren't interested in travel. There may be a few wagons and boats, but these don't go anywhere. There may be an arsenal of weapons, but nobody ever uses them. People enjoy their food, take pleasure in being with their families, spend weekends working in their gardens, delight in the doings of the neighborhood. And even though the next country is so close that people can hear its roosters crowing and its dogs barking, they are content to die of old age without ever having gone to see it. This is all if a country is governed wisely. It's number 80. Number 81. True words aren't eloquent. Eloquent words aren't true. Wise men don't need to prove their point. Men who need to prove their point aren't wise. The master has no possessions. The more he does for others, the happier he is. The more he gives to others, the wealthier he is. The Tao nourishes by not forcing, by not dominating. The master leads. Don't you think Obama was a good president? Yes, we were able to throw a politics in there. Yes, we were. So we have read this book, and I'm still looking for the one that I couldn't find. The one about, ooh, hold on. Da 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 da. Ay, ay, ay. I don't see it. Okay, I don't see it. But let's look at the photos. These are photos of the paintings that are in here. I bet they must be truly famous paintings because I okay. One thing about a painting is that you see that bird right there on the bottom. The skill of the painter is to make that bird appear with one brush stroke. That is one brush stroke. Every single thing of these these watercolor brush strokes, they're each one brush stroke that makes it go along that way, the one that goes that way. Every single color that you see, those are one brush stroke. It's amazing how people can do that. Let me see if there's more of that kind here. These are like that. These are simply one brushstroke at a time. These brushstrokes are made to be watercolor. So like there, right there, that's one brushstroke right there. So that's the value in Chinese paintings that you can see if you're not an expert, like I'm not an expert, at the very least you'll be able to see, hey, how did they do that? It takes a lot of skill. Okay, so I'm not a painter, but I can appreciate that particular aspect of the painting. I'm not very wise, but I am smart enough to read to you what other wise people know to do. So when you do something that is part of your wisdom, something that is wise, you are committing an act of virtue. Let's go and do it today. Merry Christmas Eve. Okay? Old Kinderhook.